Hey guys, it's Jeremy here, your favorite person with Parkinson's. That's right. I'm here to talk to you about something that I guess may be difficult for some people to talk about, and that is anxiety, how Parkinson's affects anxiety and vice versa. Now, I got to be honest with you right off the bat, I've always been a very anxious person. Crowds have always kind of weirded me out to some extent. And I've always felt uncomfortable being the focus of attention in a group setting, which is really weird because I played in a band and I've done a podcast. Somehow that doesn't apply. It's more like when I'm not wanting to be on, when people are focusing on me. And I mean, at first I sort of blamed it on my upbringing. I was really sheltered and was homeschooled for a while when I was a kid. But the older I've got, the more I think I'm just hardwired to be an anxious person. I kind of put it in the context of, you know, on a sitcom, I think of Seinfeld, whenever Kramer would walk in the room and everybody would clap. I sort of feel that way, strangely. It doesn't really make any sense. When I walk into a room sometimes, I feel like suddenly all the focus shifts to me. Now, my wife tells me that's not true. You think too much of yourself. And, well, I mean, I guess maybe I do. I don't know why I did that. But here's the thing. I think I'm just hardwired for anxiety, and Parkinson's makes it worse. Now, the obvious thing is the symptoms. When your hands are shaky in public, you kind of feel the need to hide. I know pretty much to a person, everyone that I know with Parkinson's feels the need to hide their symptoms or the side effects of their medications, which can create huge amounts of anxiety. Just constantly being aware or hyper aware of, is my hand shaking? Am I wiggling too much? Sometimes the medication can make you do that. Just the things that go with PD. Maybe I'm not reacting as quickly to something because I'm off. And are people thinking I'm disinterested? I've had that happen to me. People have been like, I guess you're not interested in what I'm saying. I'm like, no, trust me, dude, I am. But I'm just, my face may not always show it. So that's kind of the one thing with Parkinson's is the symptoms. Feeling the need to constantly hide your symptoms or the side effects of your medication. There is not a minute that goes by when I'm not with people that I'm not thinking about, am I wiggling too much? Is my hand shaking? Is my face expressive? It's just, it's in me. It's just the way that I view the world. And I've had to sort of find ways to disconnect from the constant self-evaluation, or some may say navel-gazing, that I do when I'm with people. This is the third thing here is also very important. We've got, are you hardwired that way? Hiding the symptoms. And the third one is the medications can make you anxious and jumpy. An example would be like, if you're taking a multivitamin in the morning, you pop it in the morning, it's one pill a day. Or even if you're taking anti-anxiety or antidepressants, a lot of times it's just one pill you take. I do take something for that in the morning. It's one pill. You don't feel it kick in. You don't feel it wear off. With Parkinson's, it's kind of like driving an old car. You got to, every hour or so you got to get out and check the oil because you're constantly fluctuating in your medication. My medication, depending on how much I take, could last 2.5 hours. It could last an hour. It could last 45 minutes. Now, generally, I can control to some extent how long it lasts with, if I've eaten a bunch of protein, that'll block the medicine. So if I can't really eat till the end of the night when I'm getting ready for bed, sometimes just the sheer volume of food can slow down. Like mashed potatoes can slow the medication down from being absorbed. So I've got all these things going on in my head, on top of the fact that the medication can give you side effects. First of all, I guess most people are aware of what's called dyskinesia, which is the uncontrollable movements. I mean, I guess you would relate those more to Michael J. Fox. I do have those from time to time. I mean, I'm sure you've seen videos where maybe I'm a little more animated. Now, sometimes I want to be animated, sometimes I don't. But that can be its own anxiety. As your medication fluctuates throughout the day, you can have periods where you're real stiff and slow, and then suddenly you're hyper and you're moving all around, and then that just is it's a roller coaster that I wish I wasn't on. I've been able to microdose or take smaller amounts of my pills so I get less side effects, but keeping that steady wave. Like I said, if you were driving an old car, and I've got an old Lincoln, maybe I should throw a picture up here. I've got an old Lincoln, and it's a beautiful car, but sometimes, for whatever reason, it will just stop. It'll just stall. Not so much while it's going, but if you're at a stoplight, sometimes you'll just, That's anxiety when that happens. I mean, it usually cranks right over, but just imagine if your nervous system was like an old car. You were going along and suddenly you felt a little shiver, and then you felt it go down. Now, your medication generally, for me anyway, I get about a 5-minute warning when it's getting ready to wear off. But during those 5 minutes, your body kind of goes into mode like, I got to get somewhere private because I'm going to become symptomatic, and people are going to stare and they're going to ask what's wrong, and I'm going to make people feel uncomfortable. And I've heard from a lot of different people they need an escape route in public situations if their medication drops. And I'm not going to lie, it's not a fun way to live. I wish I could be more on all the time. Hopefully with some of the research they're doing with medications and stem cells, that will eventually be a reality. But for the time being, it's not. So sometimes if you're over and you see me and I have to step out for a little bit, my friends know sometimes Jeremy's just going to need to step out for a little bit. Maybe go upstairs and lay down in bed, take a pill and wait for it to kick in. I just wish I could go back to that feeling of not ever having to worry about it. But that's anxiety. That causes anxiety when you have to worry about your medication. Yeah, God, if I could go back to the days where I just got up in the morning and went and didn't have to worry about taking a pill every hour, hour and a half or so, it'd be great. So that's kind of what we deal with our PD patients. Now, I will say everybody's different. I've talked to some patients or some people with Parkinson's that anxiety is not that big of a deal. But for the vast majority of the ones that I've talked to, there's an incredible amount of anxiety that comes with this disease, whether because people are looking at you, your medicine's kicking in or wearing off, or maybe you're just an anxious person like me. Maybe you're just a nervous Nelly. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'm going to give you a recommendation over here and a subscription button over here. By the way, I got to say thanks for all the feedback I've got lately. It really makes my day when I get messages. I've got them from all over the world. People that have told me your videos are making a difference. I can relate to your struggle. That really means a lot to me. So I don't want to leave without saying thank you to all the people that have subscribed and sent me messages. So until next time, peace and love from St. Louis. Oh no, Mr. Bill! I think we have an amputee here. I'll put him right there, see if anybody notices.